Deportiva y con swing.
Deportiva y con swing.
La factoría del deporte desde New York para ti. Es una máquina.
Es una máquina
pensada para ti.
pensada para ti. Número uno en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Con informaciones importantes siempre frescas.
Y con entrevistas que te ponen de cabeza.
Lo mejor del deporte lo encontrarás aquí.
Búscale en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Suscríbete,
Ay sí,
infórmate.
ok. Dale a la campana para que te llegue.
Everybody well? Keith, give me a moment to set the stage here for you. It's a big day. Thank you all for being here, and I think it's very appropriate to start our celebration of you today, Keith, amongst many of your colleagues and your many admirers. So before we turn it over to you, though, let me remind everyone just some of your accolades. You were elected to the Mets Hall of Fame in 1997. You ranked second in team history in batting average. You earned 6 of your gold gloves as a Met and 11 overall. That's a remarkable feat in that 11 years is longer than most careers. You ranked 4th in club history in on-base percentage and 10th in RBIs. And everyone knows the amazing season you had in 1986 and delivering the 3 RBI in Game 7 of the 1986 World Series. On May 6, 1987, your teammates elected you the first captain in Mets history. So now you've transitioned to being in the Mets television booth since 1999, and you're beloved and thrived there, as well as you've won 3 Emmys for Best Sports Analyst. So thank you for letting me get through that. With that, Keith, the floor is yours.
We'll leave it open to questions, I guess, right? Are you wanting to make an opening statement or what?
You give some of your thoughts on what the day is going to bring for you.
Well, it's been 2 days. We're in the city. My family's right up here, all of them, my grandkids and my daughters, my brother, husbands, wives, Marion. And we had a lovely dinner last night at Smith & Wolenski's with a large group, and it's all culminating today. And I've got something in my eye, so forgive me. I am not getting the cherry in my eyes. Someone woke me up in the middle of the night with a text. I didn't turn my phone off at around 3:40 in the morning, and it was on a different time zone, a much earlier time zone, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I was kind of nervous about the speech I'm going to have to make. But this is certainly a great honor. It certainly started out a last place team for around 6 years. The infamous trade of Tom Seaver coming over here off a world championship team. An unsettling 83 for me, half a season here, and really kind of soaking in the culture of the New York Mets. And but then spring training in '84, and within 10 days, I realized I was surrounded by a great group of young players with talent, and everything that Frank Cashin had told me the day I was traded, that we think that we're ready to rise here. We have not squandered our draft picks. It was all there for me to see plainly in spring training. And really, if you look at it, everybody says we turned it around in 3 years. And certainly we did with the championship. And really, there's only, I believe, and I can pretty much be certain of this because I looked it up at Baseball Reference, there's only 12 teams that won 108 games or more in a season. And 3 of those teams lost in the World Series, and 1 didn't even make it to the World Series. And we certainly had our backs against it. But to me, the real turnaround was '84.
Hoy celebrando el gran día del retiro de la camiseta de Keith Hernández.
The first leg of our press conference today. Steve, I see you in the back with the mic. Please lead off.
Did you get my pen? Yes, I just saw it right now. Thank you. Last part of that.
I know, I hear you.
I'm sorry.
un ícono de los New
But
York
right over
Mets,
here to your left.
Why are you not in front row?
Because the photographers want to take pictures of Keith.
uno de sus mejores jugadores.
Speaking of Keith, when
I'm
you...
not gonna say anything nice in front of him, okay?
That's all right, just be honest. Just be honest, okay. When you think about Keith, the player, his career, what sticks out most to you?
Well, I might be a little strange, probably the defense. You know, that time when, you know, I was over with Donnie and Keith, I mean, we couldn't ask for, and similar players in a lot of ways. I think the thing that always got me about both those guys was that the only way they equated whether or not they had a good day at the park was whether or not their team won the game. That's quite a compliment, you know, and it was sincere too, that the team won the game. And it didn't mean what they did individually necessarily, even though it was pretty good most of the time. Both of them took such great pride in their defense. But this is about Keith. You know, he was one of those guys that seemed to could deliver what the team needed that day. I need a single to left field. I mean, think about a guy you could hit and run with. You could hit a ball out of the ballpark. I thought both of them ran the bases real intelligently, just because they weren't, you know, Willie Wilson. Didn't mean they couldn't impact the team on the bases. Very good base runners, but I tend to look a lot at this, listen to teammates talk about playing with them, and Keith made his teammates better. You know, we talk a lot in all season when we're talking about players and acquisitions, whatever. One of the criteria you look at is, do they make their teammates better? It doesn't mean by what they say, or sometimes it's just their actions and the karma that they create around the club because of who they are and the way they choose to go about their business, professional. And, you know, as a manager, you look for things that you go, you know, I can count on that every day. And you can count on Keith every day. It may not always look aesthetically pleasing on a given day as far as statistically, but and when he had that rare day, you knew somebody was going to pay down the road. Somebody was going to pay for the struggles. I've used that a couple of times with a couple of our guys. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily, but you got to look at it like, okay, somebody's going to feel my pain here at some point.
Days like today are...
Howie, we'll start with you there.
Keith, since you brought it up, can you compare in any way the level of nervousness or butterflies that you might have felt hitting in that pivotal spot in Game 7 of the World Series with the thought that you're going to have to get up there later in front of 40,000 people who adore you and speak about yourself for however long you go? Are they comparable?
No, they're not comparable because that at bat was not fun. Pressure was there. I had to get a base hit. Sacrifice fly was not going to get the job done. I had to get a base hit. And Hurst had been dealing, and I didn't like Hurst. Was very tough, particularly very tough. And I hadn't faced him that much, and so, you know, you didn't want to face me when a base hit was going to hurt you or a double. You know, I had the guys behind me that could hit the home run, Darryl.
Yo soy Jeremy Peña y sigan con la máquina deportiva.